Greetings, Earthlings, on this beautiful fall day here in Irving Park. I am here at St. Edward's Church, Sunnyside and Costner. We're here today to talk about this, the St. Anne's Sodality Cookbook, dated 1950. This book, besides its recipes, is littered with advertisements for local businesses. So I thought it would be fun to visit those addresses. Certainly, some or all of them are gone. Let's see what's there today and take a deeper dive into history. And of course, do some cooking as well. Let's do it. Here we are at 4229 Montrose, Tripp and Montrose. Currently the home to Cuenca Bakery. Previously the home to Beal Bakery. Matthias Beal was a German immigrant born in 1899. Ended up in Englewood, down at 63rd and Wood, with his wife, kids, brother, and brother-in-law also jumped over on the boat. We got the full house down there. He was working at that time as a pastry chef for a quote-unquote private club. But fast forward a bit, and he was running the bakery here and living in it with his wife. Looks like at that point the brother and the brother-in-law had hit the bricks. Pretty amazing to see that bread continues to be baked here after all these years. The place is absolutely packed here on a Sunday afternoon. Over here at 4379 Elston, currently the home to yet another parking lot, MCC parking. Previously, you could have picked up a dozen or two or three of fresh eggs down at Mazzalco's Poultry House. These poultry places aren't really around anymore, but there was another one nearby, surprisingly. Let's check it out. That's right, because if you couldn't get a sufficient quantity of eggs, you'd head over to Martin's. Today would be part of what is here at the Parkway Bank, just west of Elston. Eggs, eggs, and more eggs is my favorite flavor of ice cream. It's dinner time. How about some braised oxtails? Tonight's entree comes to us courtesy Mrs. Mary Hammer. Born in 1909, she was 41 at the time of this cookbook. Mary was a high school graduate, had two kids, ages 1 and 3, and she was married to Irwin Jr. Irwin was born in 1911. He had completed graduate school, and he was 39 years old at the time this cookbook was put together. In 1940, he was listed as an attorney with his own practice in that year's federal census. In 1939, he shows up as a book editor. He ran for judge in 1954. In 1940, they lived at 4446 North Costner, which is just kitty corners from the church. Their home value at that time was $4,700. They were renting it. In 2023, that would be $103,000. That house was built in 1893, and it still stands, if you can believe that. This only took about 4 hours. As far as I could tell, this came out great. Use a little butter flour mixture to thicken it up at the end. Sauce could probably stand to be degreased, but not today. Unbelievable. Carrots cooking in that braising liquid are not shockingly wonderful. I smoked out the house pretty seriously, browning that meat, but it was well worth it. I had to open the windows and run the exhaust fan for about a half hour. There's a reason people have been cooking this for 100 years, hundreds of years. I've done oxtails before, but always in the Instant Pot. But in the interest of being accurate to the book, although no doubt pressure cookers existed long before 1950, figured what the hell, I got nothing better to do anyways. And that was fun. Shout out to the Hammer family for this phenomenal recipe. I seriously have to turn the camera off and do work in these oxtails and these noodles. I can't talk anymore. This is just too much to deal with. Over here at 4397 Elston and Montrose, currently the home to Luna Medical Incorporated, previously the home to Elmont Liquors. Notable for its mysterious reference to blackjack and whitejack. Were the proprietors of Elmont Liquors indeed an African American and a Caucasian man who both were named or went by Jack? If so, that is the coolest liquor store ever. Wish I could get a drink from Black and or White Jack. I'm equal opportunity. Over here at 3954 Lawrence, currently the home of the bakery with a name that's very difficult to pronounce, so I won't attempt it. Cordes Bakery, home of whipped cream pies, famous from the Three Stooges. Owned by Mr. Henry Cordes, another German baker, immigrated to Chicago. He was born in 1911, and he was, like his friend Matthias Beal, living on the premises. You could bake all day and all night. My sweet tooth pains me. It's time for dessert. On deck for dessert, we've got the very simple strawberry whip. The strawberry whip comes to us courtesy Eulalia Pontius. Mrs. Pontius was born in 1895, making her 55 years old at the time of this cookbook's release. I did find her obituary. She passed away in 1986. Eulalia was married to Bernard, aka Barney. Barney was born in 1891. At that time, he was unemployed for 32 weeks, according to the census. His occupation was listed as laborer, and the organization said WPA. The Works Progress Administration was part of President Roosevelt's New Deal, an economic program to bring the country out of the Great Depression. Like the Hammer family, the Pontius family did not take part for some reason in the 1950 census, so we don't have up-to-date information on their housing situation at the time the cookbook was released. In 1940, they were living at 4544 West Lowell Avenue. In 1950, we know they were living at 4957 North Colmar, an apartment building which still stands. And we know this because they are listed in the patrons and sponsors pages at the beginning of the cookbook.
For 400 people. This is what you make when you're going to a party and you just don't know what to bring, but this is all you have in the house. Look at this. It will feed everyone.
It tastes artificial. I mean, it tastes good, but it comes across as fake strawberry flavor, which is ridiculous. It's real strawberries. It's at the one part of me is like, oh, it's like eating nothing, and then another part of me is like, I've eaten too much. I can't decide.
Willy Wonka. I'm going up there, and I'm gonna have to expel all that fluff, all that air.
We don't talk like that at the whip table.
If I eat any more of it, I would feel like Augustus Goop.
Mm-hmm. Gloop.
Gloop.
I can't believe that's one egg white made probably 3/4 of a gallon in terms of volume of whip. It's seriously becoming painful to eat. I feel like someone has this thing, the bike pump.
You would put it in a pastry bag, you pipe it into glasses in a beautiful shape and serve it all shiny and semi-frozen. And everyone would be so thrilled and impressed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm a disaster.
This is for a ladies' luncheon.
But the serving needs to be a shot glass,
Like this.
if that. Here we are, folks, 4170 West Montrose at Leah Dermaspa, previously the home to the Monkey Inn. What a great name for a tavern. Monkey Inn proprietor was Ed Schultz, born in 1903. He operated this place with his wife, Frances, and he lived just a bit north of here at 5300 Paulina. How about the Monkey Inn was a great place to monkey around with your booze. Just how I like it. Here's a riddle for you. What starts with L and smells like rocket fuel? Liquor. Leo. Mayfair Leos, or is it Leo's Mayfair Liquors? Previously the home to Laurel Liquors and Tap. L's are wild. And we got one more just down the street here. 4461 Lawrence, currently the home of the Mayfair Restaurant. Previously the home of Burger Grill, the burger that satisfies. Is there any other type of burger? Maybe a bad one. Previously the home to, of course, Sunny Snack Shop.
That's when you know your whip has whipped.